Deep inside the emerald jungle lived the biggest elephant anyone had ever seen. His name was Titan. Every animal admired his incredible strength, but they were also afraid of him. Titan never meant to hurt anyone. He simply didn't realize how powerful he truly was. Every step he took echoed through the jungle like thunder. Birds flew into the sky whenever he passed. Monkeys dropped their fruit and hurried high into the trees. Rabbits disappeared into their tiny burrows before he even came close. Titan believed everyone respected him. He smiled proudly as he walked through the forest. But he had no idea the animals weren't hiding because they admired him. They were hiding because they were scared. One warm afternoon, Titan reached his favorite watering hole. The cool lake sparkled under the bright sunlight. Titan happily sprayed water over his huge body. He laughed as the cool water splashed everywhere. Hidden beneath a tiny green leaf beside the lake lived the smallest ant in the entire forest. Her name was Ruby. Ruby was small enough to stand on a single blade of grass, but her courage was larger than anyone could imagine. She had spent all morning building a tiny home from leaves, flower petals, and little twigs. It wasn't much, but to Ruby it was perfect. Just as she finished placing the last leaf, Titan lifted his enormous trunk and blasted another giant wave of water across the shore. The powerful splash crashed over Ruby's tiny home. Leaves flew into the air. Twigs scattered across the mud. Within seconds, everything she had worked so hard to build was gone. Titan didn't even notice. He continued laughing as he sprayed more water into the air. Ruby stared at the broken pieces of her little home. For a moment, she felt angry. Then she climbed onto a small rock. She took a deep breath and shouted with all her strength, "Hey, watch where you're going!" Titan froze. He slowly looked left, then right.
Hello there! I am down here! Look down here!
He scratched his head. "Who said that?" he asked.
Who said that?
Ruby shouted even louder, "Down here!" Titan lowered his enormous head until he finally spotted the tiny ant standing on the rock. For a second, he couldn't believe his eyes. Then he burst into loud laughter. "Ha-ha, you're smaller than a seed. You expect me to notice someone as tiny as you?" Ruby didn't move. She looked straight into the giant elephant's eyes. "Being small doesn't make me unimportant," she said calmly. "And being big doesn't make you right." The jungle suddenly became silent. The birds stopped singing, the monkeys stopped moving, even the wind seemed to disappear. Every animal watched the strange conversation between the biggest elephant and the tiniest ant. Titan smiled confidently. "If size doesn't matter, then prove it." Ruby stood tall. "I will." Neither of them noticed. Hidden deep behind the bushes, a pair of glowing eyes was watching everything. Not animal eyes, human eyes. Hunters had entered the emerald jungle, and they had already chosen their target, Titan. By tomorrow morning, the peaceful jungle would never be the same again.